Today's practice. We got padded practice today and tomorrow. Okay. As far as injuries, Trey Roberson, he will be out today from the game, and then he kind of felt it yesterday in Indy, so he won't be in. He won't be out there today.
What is it?
Sorry, it's his knee. Yep, sorry about that. Other than that, as far as injuries go, nothing there. We got padded practice today, so we'll pick it up a little bit and get back on track. So with that, go ahead with questions.
It's been a while since we've seen Roquan. Any concern with the progress of his groin right now?
I don't think so. No. No news is probably good news with him. I think he's just continuing to each day, keep rehabbing.
What about Daniels and Affetti?
Same thing. I think they're just continuing to work with Dre, and we just keep rolling, man. Wherever they're at, we roll.
How much is, I guess in all those cases, just trying to make sure they're good for week one? Is that part of it?
That's probably the big picture for us. We want to make sure that hopefully we're able to get to that point with all these guys. And there's probably a little bit of conservativeness with that as we go, but this is all kind of a part of training camp, and every guy has their own story. So we just got to make sure that we handle it that way, and then prepare for the contingency plans.
Peters practice today?
Who?
Jason.
No.
Is Montgomery ready to go?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He's good to go.
This was a huge trend, really, in the last few years with the players negotiating with the league to come back on work during practice, off-season, et cetera, et cetera. How much of that do you think is impacting this training camp? Have you noticed in your years in coaching, it just seems like guys are missing time that they might have worked through in prior years?
Yeah, there might be some of that, Hub, but I don't know. I personally, I can understand the thought behind some of that, but I think that right now, and we've actually even done a little bit of adjusting to our schedule and some of the stuff that we do within the practices, whether it's a cool down, a stretch, some pillar stretching, et cetera, throughout the day, just to try to help with as much as we can. And I don't know if there's I think, again, everybody's a little bit different what they do in the offseason. I would say for sure last year with the COVID, everything going on with guys didn't have resources. But this year I felt like even if they weren't in OTAs, they had the resources to be able to go out and do stuff. So we just got to, every year is always different by team. And we went through those few days there where it hit us pretty good. And I think we've been doing, knock on wood, we've been doing better recently.
Peters, is he going through the virus testing intake process? Is that what the
Yeah.
here is?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How much have you, I guess in the process of signing him, how much were you actually able to see, or what do you know about what you're getting in Jason Peters right now?
Sure. Well, everyone always goes back to, he's 39 years old, and that's the first thing that people go to, right, is the age. But for us, Juan coached him, and I was in Philadelphia when he was in his absolute prime and the best left tackle in the NFL. He's going to be a Hall of Fame. He's been in the Hall of Fame someday. But for right now, with where he's at, he's a guy that when you watch the tape last year, you see a guy that still has a lot of game left in him. And are there times when he gets beat here or there? Absolutely, but that's a lot of guys in this league, regardless of how good or what your age is. But there's a lot of great plays on there too. And I think that in our situation, we told you we're always going to look at everything we need to do to try to strengthen in different areas. And this was something that came up that we wanted to look at, and it worked for both sides. So now, we'll get him in here, we'll get him going, and really see where he's at shape-wise, where he's at technique-wise, get him going with Juan, and then, see where it goes.
How nice was it to get Eddie Goldman back on practice, and where's his conditioning level? And finally, how important is it to get him in preseason games just to get that?
Well, it's great to get Eddie back. Conditioning-wise, no worries, no issues at all. He's been great. And then I think just for all these guys, just to go through the pregame stuff, get out there for a few plays, see where he's at. But again, you're always making sure that you're careful a little bit with the reps, who plays, how long they play, because you want to have them week one.
And footwork seems like an under-the-radar factor in quarterback development and success. if you agree with that, can you explain what the difference is, especially as it relates to Fields and where he stands in it? I mean, does he need work? Is he good? I've heard you mention it a few times, his footwork. How important is it, and where is he right now in regards to that as a first-year NFL player?
Yeah, so, excuse me, so footwork is extremely important, and, it's always something that I've always started with from growing up till now. It's important that you have great feet in the pocket because all of it is predicated off the timing of the wide receivers, the tight ends, the running backs within the progression. If your feet get sloppy, your timing's off, and then the play can become chaotic. I think that Justin has a good rhythm in the pocket. I think you see that. He doesn't have fast feet or happy feet. He understands stretching his drop versus like a slow 5 hitch versus a quick 5 hitch. Understands if he's got a slide right, throw left. He has a good feel for that. I thought that you saw that in college. I think Coach Day did a good job of teaching that with his feet for the time that he was in the gun and then when he's under center as well. So he's continuing to work on that stuff, but it's very important, and the number one reason is because it matches the timing of the routes.
Frankly, is he better than Mitch as far as that, as a developing quarterback? Does he have that? Is that something, that difference maybe between those two?
I'm not going to get into comparisons with those two guys. I think that Mitchell did a great job when he was here of being very coachable and listening, and Mitch had great feet too. So that's something that we stress here in this offense because it starts with timing. So they both are really good at what they're doing, and Justin's with us, and we want to make sure he continues to improve.
Where's Larry Borum at? Just, when it's a concussion, you start to worry a little bit when someone's out for.
Yeah, he again, just every day, just trying to get a little bit better, and that whole concussion protocol, to each their own on those. So again, I haven't heard a whole lot on that other than he's just going through the protocol. So we'll continue to see where he's at, and then when he does get out here, we want to get him going. Again, you go back to that family fest. He went in there, had a great day, and then this happened. So when he gets back, we got to get him going again.
You talked about the strength of your relationship with Montgomery. I'm curious why you think that has developed the way it has and what you really gravitate towards with him.
So you go back to the relationship that he had with Coach Campbell at Iowa State. That was very, very important to him. And when we went through the draft process, I got to talk to him in depth in regards to his relationship in college with Coach Campbell. And then when we drafted him and he got here, we had some more in-depth conversations that was more than football. And I just believe that in times like this, you get a guy like David and some guys, it's very important to establish that relationship. And the first year, it took a little bit of time to get going. He had some things that he was going through with building the trust with me, and I had the same thing. I was trying to figure him out. The next year, and there was some frustration in that first year. Then the next year, he saw he had a better year, and we started talking more. And now it's grown to the point now where, it's just on another level in a good way. And like I said, we FaceTime each other, text message, call as much as we can. And that trust right now is at a high. And I think it's just very important. He's become a leader on this offense, and I love that because he used to be super introverted. He didn't say much, and he's a perfectionist, and he cares what people think about him. So I'm trying to get him to that point where he can really break through that and not worry about what people think because you can just go play, and I think he's been doing that.
The Raiders became the first team last night to announce that they would require vaccination for all fans to attend games. Is that something the Bears are considering? Would the team consider it? I
have no clue. I'm not sure. That's above me. So I did see that this morning, but I'm not sure how that stands with us.
With Khalil, he's been doing this a long time. Nobody ever questions his work ethic or motivation. What can a guy like him learn in a training camp? Is there still stuff that you see him getting better at, improving?
Who can learn?
I'm sorry. Khalil Mack.
Oh, yeah, because we got 2 Khalils now. Yeah. So what can he learn in
Yeah, he's been doing this for a long time. A veteran like him
is to not get complacent, keep going every day. I think guys like him have a ton of success. They do what they do, but he's special for a reason because he doesn't get complacent, and that's what we appreciate. But we're always talking about making sure that we're doing this for our teammates, and regardless of how good or bad you are as a player, you got to worry about yourself and play hard. And we don't have any worries with him. Khalil's motivated right now. He's in a good place, and I know he's excited to get going.
Hey, Matt, you used the term load management with describing Robert Quinn and getting him ready for week 1, but with a setback like he's had now, and considering kind of the struggles he had last season after having a truncated camp, what's your level of concern about getting him to be the guy you need him to be?
Yeah, I'm not concerned because I think he had a really good start to the camp when he got here with the rookies. He was looking good, and he's out there making plays. And this is all a part of it. Again, it's football. You get banged up here or there. We want to make sure we're smart. Again, get him to week 1 because there's another guy that's pretty motivated right now. And I just appreciate those guys taking care of their bodies. I appreciate when they are out there at practice, they're going hard. So, again, we're not worried about what happened in the past. We're worried about what's going on today.
Can you project what the third preseason game, the final preseason game will look like as far as who plays and who doesn't, and how much of that is dependent on, A, what happens Saturday, and also what your opponent is going to do?
Yeah, so I would say, to go backwards, I'm not concerned about what Coach Vrabes is going to do with the opponent. I'm not sure what they're doing. Again, I think every team's going to be a little bit different on what they do. For us, I think it's going to lean more towards having more guys play than not, meaning it's not going to be your old school fourth preseason game where it's just backups playing. I think we're going to continue to kind of have it by player, how that goes. And then there might be some guys that don't play at all, going into that. There might be a select few guys that don't play. But then there might be some starters that do play. But I don't see it as it being where, hey, all the starters on the team sit, they're in their shorts and jersey, and everyone else is playing. I don't see it that way.
What have you seen from Andy Dalton the last couple of days, given that, he didn't even really get a chance to show what he can do Saturday, and all the attention's been on Justin?
Yeah.
How did he come back in practice yesterday?
No, he's good. Andy's great. I mean, when you're this is such a unique situation. And for a guy like Andy, where I feel really comfortable is knowing that he's comfortable in his own skin and he believes in himself and he knows that we believe in him. And that's not easy being on that sideline for that game and hearing, when Justin runs out and all the cheers. I mean, let's just face it. If that was any of us, that's hard. It's not easy. But at the same point in time, it's a part of the business, and he understands the excitement. He's not saying, why is everyone cheering for Justin? He gets it. He understands it. He's helping Justin get to this point. That's what I love about Andy. And I think that our teammates see that and they feel that. They know not only of everyone talks about he's a great person, but he's coming out here and he's making a lot of plays in practice. And the players are seeing that. And so he handles it great. He's a true pro. He's doing everything we're asking him to do. And I think that's the only thing that we can really worry about right now is just come out here and practice hard, man. Just do everything you can. We know it's not easy. But if you just worry about being the best Bears quarterback you can be, help everybody else out, you'll help us out. And in the end, it's a win for everybody. And I think that's where sometimes in these situations, it can, whether it's the outside nature that tries to get two quarterbacks to go against each other. And again, I'll bring up Alex. We had a good conversation with Alex. And these two guys, Alex went through this. You can't do this right here, right, with those two. Those two guys, now, they got to be going this way. One might be here and one might be there, but they're never doing this. And I think if you just keep it super simple, that's where we're at in our room right now. That's where we're at with our team. And when you have that, it's positive. It's healthy, and guys grow. Andy becomes better. Justin becomes better. Nick becomes better. We become better because they're doing it this way together. They're not going against each other. I think if you keep it that real, then good things happen.
Thanks, Matt.